Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now, a few things to mention before we get into things. I sound a little bit different. My previous rubbish pair of headphones broke, so I have gotten an even cheaper, even nastier pair of headphones to use instead. So that is why the audio feels a little bit weird. And second of all, I'm back from Portugal. It was a lovely running training camp. I ran over 102k in 5 days, but most importantly, I did not get food poisoning. So let's crack on with what's going on today. So what have we got in stock? We have got some factory stuff, or do we? Do we? No, we don't. We're going to have a look at what we need to do, and then we're going to say, screw that, we're going to go and have a look and do something else. So, our to-do list for the factory. So the factory has been the big project of this world so far, and has been my main focal point. It has been my first real use of the crafting a block, and it has gone fantastically. So let's have a look at what we still have to do in this factory here. So plank slash bamboo to stick conversion, that can wait. Who cares? Look at how many sticks we've got. We still got a load, and I accidentally absolutely overran the bamboo farm based off of the stone farm break. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. Shulker, crafter, recycler. That one does matter. But guess what? Not going to do it today. What are we doing? Not that. What the problem is shulkers. They currently end up there or down. No, who knows? Ooh. They end up down over here. Where's the hopper line? Shulkers either end up here or here, but they need to be in. Gone too far. In here. And when they come from here, they need to hook up, craft new shulker boxes for when we run out of them. So basically, I need to fit things. So look at this. This is what I'll be doing, like a chump, an absolute chump. I've been taking the shulker boxes from the end, putting them back in the beginning, and saying, you know what, let's not bother automating that, because that would be smart, wouldn't it? Yes, that would be very smart. Next up, Redstone book printing press. Not important, don't care yet. We've still got absolutely loads of lecterns still to craft. As you can see, we have only completed one shulker box. We've still got to do another shulker box there, and then, oh god, I'm getting out of breath. I'm hyper. I'm excited. We've still got absolutely loads of bookshelves then to make, and then a load of books, and then that, and only then is when we'll be able to make our book printing press. Number 4, ender chests. That requires ender pearl. No, that requires blaze powder. Hashtag not doing it. And a minecart crafter. Yeah, no, that requires hoppers to come out of the system, and currently we've only got hoppers here, so therefore not doing it. That's a problem for later. All of those problems for later. There's the first page. Didn't even change this to a 6. Didn't change that to a 6. Doesn't matter. 6. New farms. Ink, sculpt, amethyst, glass, copper, blaze rod, bricks, feathers, boom. All things that need to be done. Not doing them today. Ha 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 ha. What's gotten into me? So what we're going to do instead is we're just going to log out. And log back into our testing world. So this is one of my few testing worlds I've got. This is the one where I tested. What did I test? Nothing that we've actually built yet, to be honest. I guess the skeleton farm. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Does not matter. So the next project that we are going to work on, that we are talking about today, is going to be a crafter, but we're only using one crafter. Well, we might use more, but we are going to do one crafter. Oh, I did all of this in I'm getting distracted. We are using one crafter to make every single thing in the game. So, I have been thinking, I've been listening to the Spawn Chunks podcast. I've been working my way through the backlog of all of the episodes, and I'm currently back at where the crafter has just been introduced into snapshots, and that Johnny and Joel were talking about a few things of how it's going to work. Now, I've had this project sat in the back of my mind for a little bit of time. I've made a few notes on it just for when I can get round to this project. Where is it? There we go. So I've got a little notes document, but I didn't have, the thing that I needed to figure out was that when we're requesting an item, it needs to then give us a stack. It needs to craft up a stack and give us that stack. How do you do that in a reasonable manner? So let's go through the plan and how a few little blocks saved the design. What we've got first is we are planning this out. So we want every recipe to be used in one crafter. So what we start off with is we start off with the inputs. Now the inputs is simply going to be a chest with every item that you can possibly craft in the game in there. We're going to need quite a few chests. And then the way that you request to craft a stack of something, you press Q on it and you throw it out. It's something that's been used in our storage system, and it's something I want to use in the future as well. So Q out, that then gets picked up by HobbyStream, taking it off somewhere. The next stage is a multi-item sorter, or to be more precise, absolutely loads of them. So it then gets taken off, it then goes down one line of multi-item sorters. These multi-item sorters, they then kind of assign each crafting ingredient to the thing. So let's come over to the multi-item sorter over here that I've built. This is by Rapscallion 1138, the multi-sorter. It's something that's been used by many people, and it is a fantastic design. So you put your items in here, it goes through the system here, and then items that comes out. So this is going to be the priming system. So what will happen is, for example, if we are crafting up, let's get something interesting. Let's get a chest. So if we're crafting up a chest, what will happen is the chest will go through this. This system here will represent item number 1 in the crafting recipe. So of course, our recipe is going to be this. That's our recipe there. Obviously, if we were doing this so that it would just, this crafter is only crafting chests, we would of course lock that slot there. But because we can't do that, because there are recipes that require every single slot, we can't do that. What we need instead is that we need glass or something, doesn't matter what, just something, I don't know why I say glass, it can be any item that is just a filler item that will go in, and then before it crafts, we take it out and then it can craft the item. So what each of these slices here will be is that it will prime the system to give the items that it needs. So our chest flows through here. For example, it doesn't get picked up by this one because this is all of the things that require cobblestone in the first slot, but then it does get picked up by this one because this is all of the items that need wood in the first slot. So it will then go through there. It will then activate like a dropper off the back here maybe, and then that dropper will then send the items to the crafter. The chest then comes out of this way, and then it goes into the next slice, so then it sorts out what's in slot number 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and 7, 8, and 9. Okay? Then all these items end up in our crafter. The way that we're going to transport them from here over to the crafter is with instant dropper line. So this is one of the things that Johnny inspired me from the podcast, is that he said about how dropper lines, and then I thought to Decked Out, and how Tango initially was using instant dropper line. So that's something that I've got to learn about. So it'll basically prime up. So we'll have a load of different droppers with items in, but then they will be locked. If we get redstone block there, so they'll all be locked to start off with, and then it will unlock when it comes through. So if we use our cobblestone and wood example, so the cobblestone one's locked, the wood one is unlocked, and then when we then pulse the whole line to request the first item, then it will, the only thing it will update is this dropper here, because it will then unlock it and then send that item. Then the dropper line sends it all the way through to the crafter, and then once it gets through, we can then send each of the items in line and then craft it up. So now we've got to this stage, we've sent all of our items from it. What will then happen is that it will spit the item out into a hopper, and that hopper then points into a pot. So of course, this was one of the other ideas that came from the podcast, is that because the pot can only hold up a stack of items, then once it's full, no other items can go in it. Then any leftovers, so For example, if we're crafting up something that will multiples golden nuggets. So if we're crafting golden nuggets, then there will be more than 64 crafted. So once this pot here fills up, then we can take the extra items and just dump them somewhere else, and then we can retrieve the items from the pot and then give them to the player. So that way we have requested a full stack of the item. Of course, if we've got this one here, we need to suck out the glass block from there before it crafts. So there's a little bit of logic that's required, but that's kind of the plan for this system. It's a very brief gone through because I haven't fully thought through every step, but in my mind it works. So the dropper lines and the pot of what solve the problems that I was thinking of. So initially how I was thinking it would work was it would go through the systems and then it would spit out the ingredients into water streams, taking them down into where the crafter is, and then you could craft up things. But I wasn't sure until the pot idea came how to get to a stack, because otherwise I was going to have to individually program each thing, because some recipes spit out 2 items, 4 items, 1 item, so that would be a little bit of individual programming. But if we just do it till the decorated pot's filled up, that's a one-size-fits-all solution, and it works for the dispenser as well, because if you just funnel your items in, of course those bows are going to be incredibly annoying to work with. So again, it just condenses the system a little bit, and hopefully the instant dropper lines will be much faster. If you've got any questions, I will try and answer them, but this is a project that's, we're going to move on with. We've got a few more things to think about with it, and it's not quite ready to go just yet. This is kind of throw the redstone out there. If people have ideas for it, then they can contribute, and yeah, because I haven't thought of all of these bits yet. It's all going to come with a little bit of time, and then it'll all be all right in the end. So our next decision to make with the project is, where are we going to build it? How is it going to suit the world? So I brought up chunk base here. This is a map of our world. This is our spawn point. So our farm area is kind of this kind of square here that I'm drawing out. Our beach is kind of down here, and our witch village is here, I believe. Now, what comes next? Where do we want to put? We've got loads of space in this world. Look at it. It's an infinite size world. What I want to do is that I want to build in the desert at some point. This is probably the best desert that we've got over here, because this one's incredibly small. This one's probably the closest big one. Otherwise, we're off down here, and that's miles away. That's what, 8,000 blocks in either direction. This one slightly closer, only 4,000 and 2,000. So I think that's where we're going to build our desert project, because I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Origins, so I'm inspired there. So what I'm thinking is that this project here is going to go somewhere in this region in here. Now, how are we going to fit this in? So what I was thinking was that we were going to build it up in the sky, kind of. Basically, I was going to build a temple at the top, like an Aztec temple, and then we were going to go down into the floor of that Aztec temple, and then that is where the whole machine would be. It would be under the temple. It would be inside of custom mountains here. So what we're looking is that we're looking somewhere in this area here, potentially over here. What biomes are we looking at there? Forest, that's a nice biome there. Forest, plains. So potentially in this space here, because over here, big swamp. Over here, forest. Yeah, it could go there, but that's a little bit close to there, I think. Because of course, if our witch village is here, I want to go a little bit further away. So potentially over here is what I'm thinking. A dark forest, yeah. Over here looks quite nice for that. So again, I'm not going to finish it. I'm not going to start. Not even going to start it today. That's how little I care. Not I care. Not how little I care. Let's be honest. That is how far away this project is. It's just I want to get it out there and get some feedback, because some people out there are smart, much smarter than I am. I am very, very stupid. So if you have anything to do with, if you've got any knowledge that will be helpful, pop it in the comments and I'll have a look, and it will really help informing my decisions on how we go forward with this project. Well, there we have it, a quick overview of the next project. I seem to have missed being in a bit of a hole with a load of redstone spaghetti, so we're going to do it again at some point. A lot of things to think about before we get there though. So there's going to be a lot more planning on my side before we kick the project off for real. And I know there's going to be a lot of material gathering if we're trying to craft everything in the game with one crafter. A lot of resources that we've got to gather. So that is one for the future. But in terms of the redstone materials, we've got them all. We've got a redstone factory crafting them all. So the designing thing we can get on with nice and quickly. It's just going to be the actual inside of it with all the items. It's going to be a bit of a pain. So if you're looking forward to that project, then let me know in the comments, and if you've got any ideas that will be useful for it, or anything that you've not quite understand from my incredibly rushed description of the project, then please leave a comment down below mentioning anything you want to. And if you've enjoyed, leave a like. It's been a bit of a rush video. It's been of a different style. I haven't felt that inspired to make a video this week, so I was just, the inspiration came to me today, so I've kind of put it all out there and gotten on with it just to get this out there. So make sure you subscribe to see hopefully a return to form, because I feel like these last couple of weeks haven't been my best. So let's hope for a return to form with this new project. So thank you very much and goodbye.